Hey guys, Arcturus here. Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory Plus. Unfortunately, I lost a couple of recordings. I was muted and I didn't realize it. How many times have you heard a content creator say that before? So I'm just going to kind of update you on what's been going on because quite a lot has been going on since I last recorded here. Our little mini starter base over here is completely gone. As you can see, completely gone. It's been totally erased. And instead, I have all the mines coming into our actual starter base. Look how cool that looks. So previously, we had this rubite setup going, and I explained everything about it. But now we've expanded everything over. So we've got the sapphirite coming in into two crushers. And just like the rubite, it takes out the crushed stone this way. And then the crushed sapphirite goes into the sorter. And the sorter this time around is producing zinc and crushed copper and crushed stone. The zinc then gets fed into these two smelters, comes out, and then gets smelted into zinc plates. And actually, I need an awesome sink, don't I? I do. Let me grab some wire real quick, some tin wire, because that awesome sink is going to be really important. Right now, all this tin wire is going over to AI limiters, as I'll show you in just a minute. But yeah, so we need an awesome sink to get rid of those, to get rid of some of those zinc plates. Although I guess I could just keep making smart plating because that is how you make smart plating. If you notice, we went ahead and advanced to the next phase here. That required a whole bunch of tier 1 and 2 materials. But let's go ahead and get this set up. That would be a really good idea. We'll use the old Mark II belts here. Something like this. And line it up. And we'll just leave this going for now. Actually, do we want to do that? How many plates am I making? Well, first of all, how many ingots? I'm making 80 ingots. So that's 40. Oh God, my brain. That's like 50 or like 48 plates, something like that. Let's just get these down. Let's just get this down to Mark 1. I don't want to run out of these zinc plates too quickly because that is how you make smart plating. Smart plating is bronze frames and zinc plates. So we've got all the copper here going into all of these constructors, making all of the basic parts: wire, cable, rods, bronze or copper sheets, copper pipes, and so on. Then we have the steatite coming in here. That's being crushed. And then what comes out in the sorter is crushed magnesium. This crushed magnesium comes over here to this crusher that then gets crushed into magnesium granules. And I'm just storing it here in these storage bins, which are about to fill up. The iron, the crushed iron that gets put in the smelters, this is making 120. Yeah, 120 iron ingots. All these ingots go into plates and so on to make all sorts of materials. I've got a little assembler over here making me reinforced iron plates, and that is the Satisfactory Plus starter base, if you can believe it. It's absolutely enormous. I think I mentioned that in one of the previous videos. However, that is not all. In order to progress, we had to make bronze frames because bronze frames are used to make stuff, but also, most importantly, they're used to make the smart plating. So how I did that is I have the rubite and the sapphirite coming in, and also a little bit of steatite. It's all being crushed down and then made into ingots. And then the tin and the copper make bronze, and then the bronze makes bronze rods, and then the iron makes iron rods and screws, and then this goes in to make the bronze frames. And I'm just collecting a whole bunch here. But that is still not all. Let me head on over. So as you can see, we've got this crushed stone line going all the way up here. And over this crest, you're going to see something amazing. Oh, you can already see some of it. This is my refined power setup. Oh, yes. And there's another floor below this one here. Now, it's not totally efficient yet. I still have some kinks that I need to work out. But let's head on down. Oops, sorry about that. So what I have going on here is I have these fluid conditioners here. This is like the most important part of this whole build. So these biological water nodes go into the fluid conditioner and they make 30 biomass and 60 leaves a minute. They also require 10 crushed stone a minute here. And then I have another biological water node over there as well. Actually, I have two of them over there. And then this is the line that comes on in. I also have these water extractors that get pumped up onto this floor. So when the biomass comes out of these fluid conditioners, I smart split them here to come up. And then the leaves go up here to make more biomass. And then all of the biomass gets combined to go onto this line. This biomass up here then gets turned into solid biofuel. And then all of the solid biofuel and then regular biomass then gets converted into something called compact biomass, which you get with the hard drives. So now I have 3 perfect lines of 60 coming up. They come all the way up here. And they go into a thing called the biomass heaters. And so what this does is it increases the temperature of the heater, and that boils the water on top. Hence, all these water lines that I have over here. Whenever the biomass heater activates, it also produces carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide comes out over here and into these CO2 chimneys, which deletes it from the game. It's effectively a void. But this water boils here, and it produces 60 hot steam a minute. So you can see all of the boilers that we have here. This hot steam then goes out onto these lines here, and they go all the way down. Again, there's a couple of little kinks that I need to work out in the system. All this hot steam then comes this way, and then it goes into these turbines. So I still need to turn the sounds off. Sorry about that. It's awful. The turbine then runs with this hot steam, and this hot steam comes out of the turbine here, and then finally it goes into these steam cooling towers to be deleted from the game. And that's the setup. So I still have a little bit of work to do on these setups here. In fact, I'm wondering, oh God, sorry, the sound is just not great. Apparently sound design is very difficult to do. I want to see what line this is here. So these are not turning on. Wow, they're not turning on at all. Is there any steam in here? Huh. Yeah, there's like none. Why is this one on? No, it's having a hard time. Yeah, I must have just gotten the last of that. Okay, so this line is clearly running out. So we want to fix this line. We gotta follow it. I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? But in total, by the way, it's going to be making me. Whoa, that's. Oh, I still have my little mini setup over there, which is going to be. I think I have 600 going over there. I can't remember. But let's follow this line. Down this way. It's still this outer one here. Oh, this is the tiny one. Yeah, so the way the ratios work here is I have 4 lines coming out combined into one, but this one's only 2 over here. Okay, how much hot steam? 60, right? Yeah, okay, so this is 120. So let's go back upstairs, and we just need to remember that this one's 120 because that is not going to feed 60 or 6 of those turbines because each of the turbines take 40 steam. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so this line is 240. Yeah, it's 240. And it's taking 4 each. So right now it's only supplying 120. So this line there's only 2, which is 120, so it can only feed 3. Look how many I have on this. Yeah, it can only feed 3 like this. And then this needs to be 3. Perfect. Yeah, I think I figured it out here. Oh boy, don't drop. There we go. Like this. That should fix. That should fix it because this line is 240. 240 divided by 40 is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And this one is only 3 because it's 120 divided by 40 is 3. Perfect. Okay, that should fix the problem. And it looks like it's already been fixed. So, whew, that is refined power. Just crazy, isn't it? So I'm going to keep an eye on this. If we check our power. Oh, yeah. It just slowly ramps up. That is just beautiful, isn't it? But we're going to be using all this power. The power requirements... Oh, I see a red light down there. Hold on. Okay, it's probably still filling up the pipe. So it'll take time for it to really manifold effectively, right? Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna keep an eye on this. Not really worry about too much. We are also gonna make it look a little bit nicer if we turn around. Let me get a little bit higher. I'm gonna come back and sort of build this out, but I mean, crazy, isn't it? Oh, please don't die. Okay, yeah. The reason why I built it here is because of those 3 biological water nodes. There's 3 of them, and oftentimes it seems like you only find 2 or 3 at a time. So I wanted to make sure I had 3. Yeah, this one, I think it just needs time to fill out a little bit. So we'll come back and check on that. But yeah, everything looks really, really solid. So what else do we need to look at? Actually, I think that's probably about it. Let me go to the hub, and I'm going to show you everything that I've unlocked so far, and I'm going to give you kind of an idea of what's going to be happening next. I will likely keep this bronze line up here to make the bronze frames, but we're going to be making a much, much, much better system because we have some new buildings unlocked, and I cannot wait to show them to you. I also unlocked I installed the RSS mod to get these really cool signs. It's also made by Kmods, and it is incredible. It's absolutely amazing. These modders, guys, the Kmods people, they're serious about this stuff. It's amazing. Let's look at the space elevator real quick. So 1,000 smart plating, 1,000 versatile frameworks, 250 automated wiring, 500 of the rotor blades. This is used for the hydroelectric power. 1,000 of the photovoltaic cells, which is used for solar, and then 1,000 stators. So that's what we're working towards, but we're not in any rush. Let's look at the MAM. I got some of the cryolite stuff unlocked. diamonds and lime dust. I have no clue what that's used for. Oh, let me go back. Of course, you got the explorer here, and then the salty ingots. I have no clue what that does. I guess it just turns. I guess it turns cryolite into tin ingots, copper ingots, and salt. Maybe. I have no idea. Fix it farming. I unlock the first one, and then I need to keep going with this because that's how you make the snail food for this. So this is going to be an entirely different episode. I also progressed down Satmonium a little bit. Oh, can I make the zip line? Quick wire, 10 rods, iron wire? Yeah, I may be able to. We'll have to check that out. Let me show you what I've unlocked. So, tier 3. This is where things become completely insane. Completely insane. Flexible blast furnaces and now molten versions of the ores and so on. And then a solidifier cooler to cast the ingots from the molten metals. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I unlocked brass, which is kind of like bronze. And now I'm currently trying to get steel unlocked. We've got the amazing looking air extractor here, which is used for steel. You get the molten steel and you make steel rods, beams, and pipes, and then of course screws. We'll get the basher unlocked eventually as well, once we get the steel going. Got MK3 belts, hydroelectric power, and of course trucks, which we were going to make use of. I really like trucks in this game. I know they can be a little bit cumbersome, but you just got to know how to use them. We also have the coal heater here. It's unlikely that I'm going to use this. Advanced parts, not sure why heavy modular frame is there. Hypertubes, of course. We have the MK2 drill. We're going to get this as soon as possible. We also have the awesome sink storage. This fills it all the way up and then sinks the rest. Sinks the overflow, which is freaking cool. Our project parts, solar power and power storage and stators, and then the hover pack. Oh yes, you're reading that right. We unlocked the hover pack in tier 4. Due to the complexity of the mod, that is how that works. They decided to put it in there, which is really, really cool. So let's get some quick wire real quick so that I can show you the lunacy that is the molten metals. I have played around with this before in a previous playthrough. Do we have anything giving us quick wire? Wait, really? We don't? No, we do, right here. Okay. Okay, my bad. Let's grab a couple more here. Perfect. And I'm going to show you how this whole thing functions. Do we have enough? Yeah, we got enough. Look at this thing. Look at this monster. You know what? I need a lot of room. We're going to delete the space elevator real quick. Yeah, that's fine. So, the end game here is the solidifier and cooler. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 3 of these down. And I'm going to show you how this works. So, iron ingots. Let's say we want to make iron ingots here. We need 120 iron ingots. And then we also produce a little bit of steam, but you need 60 molten iron and 20 water. And you're going to start seeing this a lot in Satisfactory Plus. This is what makes the logistics of the game a little bit more complicated. It's the water. So in order to get that, we need 1 flexible blast furnace to get the molten iron, that is. So if we look at molten iron, it takes 60 crushed iron, and we get 60 molten iron, and we get molten slag as a byproduct. I need modular frames real quick, but I will show you. Let's go over here. Make a couple of these. Fluid conditioner. Fluid conditioner is when you plug something in, you just automatically start getting stuff. So when you get molten slag in, you get carbon dioxide, but you also get sulfur, and cold slag. Now we're going to be sinking these, the sulfur and the cold slag, so we're not too worried about it. Okay, but that's that. So 60 molten iron from the furnace into the solidifying cooler, like this. Okay, so if we do that, that's what that's going to look like. So it won't look exactly like this, but like that, and then like that. So you can see how this works. And then we'll get rid of the slag. Now, in order to do this, though, this molten iron, we need 60 crushed iron. But with these two, we need a total of 180 crushed iron. So if we look at the sorter, we can do the pure sorted iron, which takes an unbelievable amount of water, or we can do the regular sorted stereotype. So that gives us 90. So if we make another one, that'll give us the 180 we need. So again, these need 60 crushed iron each. 3 times 60 is 180. And then 90 times 2 is 180 as well. So in order to get the crushed stereotype required, we need 4 crushers that will crush the stereotype. So 60 times 4 is 240. 240 divided by 2 is 120. So that means that we need 240 stereotype ore as well, which, by the way, is an MK2 drill on a pure node for a modular miner. And that right there is what our smelting setup will look like for one type of ore. For one type of ore. Again, this is where the game gets crazy with logistics. Crazy. However, I'm making 360 iron ingots with this setup, which is a lot. I mean, that's a lot of iron ingots. So, wow. Now, we're not going to be replacing this. We're not going to be doing the setup for our starter base. This is just to get the materials, and that is just fine for now. But again, as you can see, this is just for iron. We've got to do this for copper, tin, lead, maybe zinc, brass especially, bronze especially. By the way, it also gets rid of some of the steam, but not completely. Oh, yeah, this mod is incredible, isn't it? So in terms of the logistics, though, I'm not sure what I want to do, because the challenging part, guys, is what you typically do with Satisfactory is, let's say you want to build a computer factory. Well, you may want to build a computer factory over here somewhere on the hill, because there's iron over here, there's copper behind there, there's a little bit of limestone here in case you needed that, there's a Caterium node over here. And so it's easy to make a computer factory because you have all the iron going into the bottom floor of the factory, and then you have the smelters, and the smelters make it into all the ingots, and you have it there locally. But the challenge with this mod is that imagine putting all of this stuff on the first floor of a factory. You're dealing with the byproduct of crushed stone, the byproduct of magnesium, in this case for iron, and crushed stone here, the byproduct from molten slag, and thus the carbon dioxide, the cold slag, and the sulfur from the fluid conditioners. And then you're dealing with the steam here that needs to go into a steam cooling tower. So the question is, do you have this entire setup at the very bottom of a factory somewhere? Or do you have an entire biome dedicated to smelting, and then you ship those ingots out to the factory in question? Also, what do you ship out? Do you ship out the ingots here, or do you ship out the molten iron here? And water, because again, water, it requires water. So if I were to have a factory over here, again, this computer factory, because it may be conveniently located, you're going to have to get water to get the ingots. And so again, logistically, that's what makes this mod so different. I would love to hear what you guys think. How do you think this should function? I would love to hear. But yeah, that's kind of the update video here. I am going to pause the recording now, but thanks for joining me. Make sure you comment. I would love to hear about what you think in terms of making a setup like this work. So thanks for joining me, guys. We'll see you.